It's really great to be able to take control of the timing, isn't it? It's amazing and mysterious how they can achieve such feats in the lightweight division. It makes me wonder how they do it. I can't really understand it with my own knowledge, but like in that recent Tenshin fight, it felt like he wanted to hype things up. Like, hey, I can fight like this too. He seemed to want to reveal that part of himself, but I don't believe he had to do it in that manner.
You know?
That's what I think, but still, when it comes to kickboxing, Tenshin has always been producing results. I think that's really important for Tenshin. Like, Takei's match wasn't like that. I don't think he'll ever come at it with that kind of attitude, but if even a little part of him wants to make it a great match, I think he'll get taken advantage of. Takei is amazing too, right? His punching power is really impressive. I'd like to hear what Takei thinks about the current situation.
Kaftokya! Welcome to Sue. This is Shin. Today, we have a very special guest joining us remotely for a collaboration, Hyuga Ren.
Nice to meet you. It's been a while. Long time no see.
It is. How are you? Yes, I'm doing well. My shoulder is also...
The range of motion has improved a lot.
And it's getting better.
I've finally been able to start practicing again, so it finally feels like I'm living my life. It really is boring when you can't move. It's not like I'm just being lazy, but it's mostly rehab and stuff. It's like every day I'm just getting massages all the time. That's just how it is. I can't help it.
But
no matter what, I just can't help but feel kind of lazy. I go to the gym every day, but my mind still feels lazy.
Yeah.
I was feeling that way, but lately I've been more active. Even at the gym, I can work out, and it's becoming enjoyable.
Even though I couldn't move much, I haven't really gained that much weight.
It was pretty bad. Like, after the Rizin sightseeing ended, I couldn't really move anymore. I also want to minimize muscle loss if possible. So I was conscious of that and tried to eat a lot more than usual. My weight went up to about 82 kilos at one point, and I thought I gained quite a bit of weight freely, so I started to drop it little by little. Now I've lost about 3 kilos, but I still end up eating a lot, especially since I'm not really moving much.
Yeah, that's right. When you're active, it feels a bit uncomfortable if your weight goes up.
Like your movements feel heavy and stuff like that?
If you don't feel that way after all.
That's right.
Yeah, I end up eating it. I follow you on Instagram, so it's always Jiro.
Your ramen and stuff always looks so good, I think that, almost every time. You eat ramen pretty much every day. No, seriously, when I go to places above Shaker, like the recent national tournament or the Hokkaido tournament, when I see different athletes cutting weight and recovering, watching those kinds of scenes always makes me imagine my own matches. I end up thinking, next time, I definitely don't want it to be so tough. Making weight used to be really tough, but since joining RIZIN, it's been incredible. My water cutting techniques have improved, enhancing my weight cuts. In recent years, I haven't experienced periods where my weight wouldn't drop, unlike the past when I felt like I was about to die during those times, despite having some stable periods. So I end up thinking about things like that.
I really don't like how tough dieting is.
Because I don't want it to get to that point. So I try not to eat too much or things like that.
That's how I feel, wondering what will happen. I might just wait until the very last minute. That's definitely possible, too.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. Well, so I guess after a little while, I'll try to narrow it down a bit more.
When you diet, do you usually restrict your food intake, or do you increase your exercise?
Of course I exercise too, but I actually cut back quite a bit. On the contrary, I only eat 1 meal a day, just at night, and I eat whatever I want then. I practice like that every day, but honestly, I'm not sure if it's the best way. Honestly, I should be eating more protein and things like that. People say that you should get more protein so you don't lose muscle, but I don't really do that. And as long as I can eat a decent amount in one meal, I don't really feel like I'm losing much. But my weight does go down, and once your stomach gets smaller, dieting becomes easier, right? That's how it is. It's how, if I only eat at night, my stomach gets used to only eating at night, so I don't feel hungry during the day. During the day, I don't really get hungry until after practice is over, and I can keep doing that every day. I used to rely a lot on water cutting, and even then, I often missed weight. But if you leave it until the last minute, that's bound to happen. If I only think about it for about a month, it's tough, so I usually set up my weight cut for about 8 weeks. I generally look at my fight weight about 3 months out, but I feel like if I don't take around 8 weeks, it gets really hard. Cut!
I try to drop as much weight as possible.
From there, I'd cut water weight. It's common, right? Even for me, if I miss weight, it can't be helped. So that's my approach to weight cutting. It's not about the future, but prioritizing life. That's how it is globally, and I agree.
Yeah, that's right.
they're basically dead. Even before, as a player, as a shooter or something. They drain blood and run. Yeah, they drain blood and run. That actually happened. There really are cases where it seems like someone just disappeared after that kind of thing. That's why it's pretty tough, right? The whole weight cutting issue. Yeah, I always wonder which way is actually right. Of course, as a pro, it's natural to make weight, but if you ask me if you should die for it, the most important thing is to prioritize your life above everything else.
That's really important, isn't it? It's pretty tough, though. But that's the kind of job where you have to do it in your own way, like Juan would. In this video, it's not mixed martial arts, it's boxing.
I'm going to talk about boxing.
I want to do that. Mr. Hiramoto discusses boxing in interviews and articles, but I've never personally seen the sport.
You're right. I might not have done it either.
It sounds like an interesting project.
I think it could turn out to be one.
I like to talk about looking back on Land Back and about Mirai Asakura and Krell Koike, and I want to talk about them without saying anything bad.
Yeah, I totally stopped bad-mouthing people, so I quit doing it again.
So with that being said,
I've worked on myself and stopped doing it.
That's interesting. So everyone, please make sure to check out the collaboration from the description box. I'm counting on you. Naoya Inoue and Hito Nakaya have been making waves in boxing. Did you see the Hito Nakaya versus Nishida match? I did.
Yes, I watched it.
I'd like to hear your thoughts.
I really like the way Nakaya fights.
So?
Quite a lot. There's been a lot of talk about things like dirty boxing and stuff, right? I feel like everyone who's strong in that area, or rather, everyone at the champion level is strong in that aspect, don't you think? Dirty boxing, whether it's in mixed martial arts, kickboxing, or boxing, even in other sports, the guys who can go right up to the edge without hesitation. That's what I'm talking about. There really are a lot of top athletes like that, right? But with martial arts, it's kind of the opposite sometimes, in daily life. Some people are really nice, but not very strong in matches. They might be great people, but not particularly powerful competitors. Some people perform well in practice, but struggle in matches due to their kindness. I can think of several examples off the top of my head. I assume you'd like to hear some specific instances of this type of kindness, correct? There really are people like that, right? But I wonder if that kind of thing is actually the same as being strong. I never imagined it would end like that. So in a way, being able to win like that just shows how amazing Nakaya is. He's the kind of person who goes beyond even top athletes and competitors.
What? Yeah, that's right.
That's what I thought.
It's something I haven't really shown or gotten much attention for before.
If anything, I've always just gone in with a bang. But on the other hand, being able to win like that shows I'm that kind of fighter too. He's really a strong fighter. And when it comes to kicks, I think Tenshin was the best, honestly. Tenshin is really good at that quick 1-2 from himself. He follows up with a left knee, a signature move that stops his opponent's attacks. He clinches every time, his go-to technique. Mayweather's punches are kind of dirty like that.
He always pushes things to the limit.
It's scary.
Yeah, it was. The low blow and...
Yeah, of course,
It was a low blow, but I was able to take a proper break.
Time?
After taking a break or when a foul was committed, I was told to exaggerate a little, so there was a time when I was told that.
There was a time like that, but I don't know if I should say it's something you should do. But isn't it the same in soccer and other sports?
It's the same with sports.
If the referee doesn't see it, it doesn't matter, so you really do need to make it obvious, don't you?
Since it's martial arts, some say it looks uncool, but you can't really complain.
Yeah, it does look bad, but if a match ends because of a groin shot, that's a bit of a problem, but I think a short stop for something like that is okay. Sometimes, a groin shot can ruin the match, like, oh, is it over already? Or something like that. Isn't that the kind of ending that cools things off the most? I think just a short stop is fine.
Yeah, Nishida also fought better than everyone expected, He exceeded everyone's expectations.
He did.
I think so, but there was a moment when things started to turn around a bit.
There was a moment like that.
But did you ever think that maybe Nishida might have a chance to take it?
No, but somehow, in the end, it's always the point where I take them down. Nakaya often creates sudden moments where he takes his opponent down. Fights start with a certain flow from the first round, and some matches feel like something will happen while others don't. Sometimes both fighters are fired up, leading to big moments, and other times they're just feeling each other out, resulting in surprisingly uneventful matches. Nakaya does that kind of thing. When it seems like nothing is going to happen, he suddenly makes his move. Naoya Inoue is the same way, right? They both have this ability to force the timing themselves, to take control of the moment. I've always thought their sense of timing is really amazing. So, on the other hand, I didn't really feel like, oh no, I might lose, or anything like that. Of course, Nishitani is strong too, that goes without saying, but still. It's because there's someone to compare them to that these debates happen, like, maybe this guy was actually stronger after all, you know?
Naoya Inoue isn't overwhelmingly dominant either, or something like that.
When he loses points, people praise him. But ultimately, we're the winners, so I think that's the impact it has.
That's right. Matching well with Nakaya is a source of pride.
That's the kind of thing you can say, that's right.
This ultimately demonstrates Nakaya's incredible talent. Well, that's true, isn't it?
But honestly, I really want to see more Japanese matchups. Bantamweight is full of amazing Japanese fighters.
After all, Japanese matchups really get the crowd excited.
Yeah, they're the most interesting, aren't they?
The bantamweight division has many fighters, so I'd like to hear everyone's thoughts later.
And
what do you think is the biggest characteristic of Nakaya Jin as a fighter? Well, he's big.
He's really big, isn't he? His frame is huge, over 170 centimeters. That's what stands out. His body is really impressive. Watching him, I sense his incredible strength. His power and punches are remarkable.
His reach is long, but even up close, his power is something else.
He can show his power even at close range.
It's kind of rare, you know. It's amazing, isn't it? And on top of that...
Right? Rather than aiming for it, it's more like by chance some hook or something in a workshop somewhere, you know? Knockdowns are frequent. Unlike Davis, Nakaya doesn't strike hard and fast.
Direct aim.
He knocks people down with one shot, right? That's amazing. In the lightweight division, aiming for that and actually knocking someone down with a punch is extremely difficult, so it's really impressive that he can do that. It's not something that's easy to pull off, right?
Communication during offense and defense?
It's pretty common to land just one shot, but being able to pick your target like that makes me wonder how he does it. It's really amazing and kind of mysterious, isn't it? I can't figure it out.
Like matches against really strong Thai fighters and such.
Yeah.
I thought they were really tough, but you knocked them down hard in the end. I always watch in amazement.
The rating, you know.
They come flying at me like missiles, so my straight shots are also pretty strong.
Amazing.
I like to use that fighting style, so I watch a lot of amazing matches and study them.
They say that when you move down a weight class, your boxing skills improve, right? So I watch a lot of bantamweight matches, and those fighters are really impressive. Yeah, when they're that fast.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. Their offense and defense are definitely impressive, so...
Are really precise.
Naoya Inoue is also an amazing fighter.
It's amazing. Naoya Inoue isn't just a representative of Japan, but a world-class athlete.
When you look at him...
He's a world-class athlete, isn't he? It's like he's beyond what a normal person can do.
It's like he's reached that level, you know, like one of the top 3 in the world.
You could say.
That's how it is, right? For a Japanese person to be in the top 3 of Pamplpan. 10 years ago, this would have seemed impossible, right? It's amazing that you're doing it with such clean boxing.
It's clean.
Yeah, you're really like a character from a manga.
You move like that, don't you?
Each and every practice must be incredibly detailed, right? It's really amazing how delicate and precise it is.
I don't fully grasp it, but I can recognize its amazingness. I just watch it thinking, oh, it's over, or something like that.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But still, no matter who watches it, it's amazing.
You can tell.
It's an easy to understand style.
Even in Nari's match, he got knocked down at first, but the way he came back from there was so stable. When I saw that, I thought, wow, that's crazy. Now, if you think about that knockdown, it was almost like when Take and Rodtang fought, right? Yeah, but, you know, while the ref was counting for Take, the fight got stopped, but it's amazing how he recovered from that knockdown.
He won nearly every round after that.
He did it twice, you know, and it was in Canada, too.
That's right, but, you know, after moving up to super bantamweight, as expected, seeing him get knocked down.
Well, it's something we've seen.
So with that in mind, if he moves up in weight class in the future,
If that happens,
that's what I mean. The boxing world has a few things to consider regarding this topic. First of all, Nakatani Jin. Isn't it? That was an interesting match. That's what I personally think, but honestly, all I can do is make some pretty wild guesses. When Nakaya Jin moved up to super bantamweight, he got knocked down, just like Inoue Naoya.
Things like that happen.
So the conversation would be completely different, so not yet. I don't know yet, but at this point, Mr. Hiramoto, what do you think about their compatibility?
Isn't Nakaya more advantageous in terms of time? Your reaction speed slows down as you age, especially after 30.
It drops.
They say it falls, right? So I guess that's also connected to the drop in performance. Back in the day, when I was around 30 or in my late 20s, there were a lot of players who wouldn't have let that happen. They say your reaction speed really changes, don't they? But still, Nakaya Senshu is still at his peak, or rather, he's still got quite a bit left. Even in terms of age, he's still in a strong condition, and next year or so, I think he'll still be doing pretty well. He still has time, doesn't he? Yeah, the more time passes, the more it seems like Nakaya Senshu will have the advantage. The peak is like this. The peak really goes like this. The peak is like this. Really, I kind of wish we could have seen them fight when they were the same age, you know? I see. There's like a 5-year difference or a 3-year difference. At this age, that really makes a difference, doesn't it? If they were in their early 20s, it wouldn't really matter that much.
But from 30, even a 3-year difference starts to matter.
Yeah, turning 30 is a big deal, that's true. For me, it's actually the opposite. If anything, after 30.
I actually feel more active.
I have the impression that you can still do it, but boxing has this image of being really fast, you know, with a lot of speed. It's totally different for the heavier weight classes, but for the faster weight classes, I really think age is super important. I wonder what it's like. It's hard to imagine, isn't it?
That's right. It wouldn't be surprising no matter who wins.
Yeah, that's how it feels. It's probably this one, but I can't really say for sure.
Both of them are really strong, aren't they? I'm looking forward to it. I really hope it happens.
There are also various injuries and things like that, so...
Do you know Upper Dariev?
Yeah, I understand.
He's not a weak athlete.
And he's actually pretty strong, right? Really strong.
Yeah, that's right. He lost to Tapares. Z is being done to Inoue Nai.
From...
So, as expected, it's the agreement argument.
You really can't underestimate people like that, can you? Where is Kazakhstan? Oh, it's Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan, huh? He's an Olympic bronze medalist, but still.
Based on his name, he'd likely be formidable in mixed martial arts. That's accurate. Let's return to the topic at hand. No, not really. But maybe like a lucky punch or something, it's not impossible.
That's what we're talking about, right? The coach of Upper Deadlift recently knocked down Inoue in a match.
He did.
Because he's the coach of Carabinas. So collecting that kind of data
And inputting it.
that part is a bit dramatic, you could say.
On the other hand, it appears to be an easy fix, and he doesn't seem like the type to repeat the same mistake.
That's right.
And then trying to outsmart them again, or...
I guess people imagine things like that, but with that kind of content, P. Nagatani is different again.
That's how people see it.
So Nagatani will also move up to super bantamweight and fight someone, probably the same opponent that Inoue fought once.
Yeah.
So if he moves up to super bantamweight again and shows an even better performance, it would be a bit of a problem if he gets even stronger. But on the other hand, if his punching power doesn't work as well, or if he gets hurt by a single shot from his opponent, those effects could come into play.
With a frame that big, fighting at bantamweight probably reduces his power a bit.
Also the date.
I've always had this impression, like, if he fought at super bantamweight, he'd lose a bit of that edge. So with a frame that big, it kind of stands out in a different way. You can't help but have high expectations, right? That's true.
Since his build is big, he actually fits super bantamweight even better.
Yeah, that's what I think about Nakaya, too. And I think he can even go to featherweight. It really seems possible, doesn't it? Physically, that's true.
We'll just have to see how it goes. There's no other way.
No doubt about it.
Do you like boxing quite a bit?
I'm not really an expert or anything, but I do watch matches of really famous boxers. I just watch the ones with the well-known fighters, not a wide range or anything.
Yeah, boxing enthusiasts are on a whole different level, you know?
It's a whole different level. Even when they go to the matches, they're always scoring the fights themselves, like my dad does. Mr. Sato's passion for boxing led him to martial arts. He also scores fights when watching boxing matches.
Right? I thought so.
I guess that's just how it is, huh?
That's how it turns out. Love for sports.
It is amazing, isn't it?
There's another big match that's getting a lot of attention. Tenshin Takei.
That's right.
But what do you think about that?
During the recent Tenshin fight lately, I really felt like they wanted to hype up the match. There were a lot of exchanges and back and forth action. I got the sense that he wanted to show, like, I can fight like this too. But honestly, I don't think he needs to do it that way. It's boxing, so just playing the touch game is fine. If anything, it feels like he's not really connecting with the public by trying too hard to win them over. I really think it's fine to just play the touch game since it's boxing. Honestly, I'd like to see knockouts every time, but winning by touch game is fine too, because that's what boxing is.
That's right.
It's like every time the public is just watching however they want, right? Not that I'm Mayweather or anything, but if you go in with that kind of attitude, people will watch the fights out of hate or whatever.
That's how I want you to approach it. I think it's better to just focus on boxing.
That's what everyone thinks.
I wonder why. It's just my personal opinion, but I think he's someone who wants to be loved.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Rather than wanting to be spoken badly of, I felt like I just want to be loved.
I want to deliver what everyone is expecting. And, well, I'm a boxing fan, too. For us, it was the first time a match was actually interesting.
Kasu.
Since words like that came out,
For me, the previous ones were more interesting. On the contrary, the last match wasn't that interesting. Compared to that, the previous match, like the one with Moroni, was way more interesting, and I think that's the kind of thing that's good.
but style-wise, that suits me better.
That's like,
I've been watching since the kickboxing days, so...
you get it, right? Why not just say, I purposely didn't finish him off every time?
Is that so for me?
You could just say, I could have finished him, but I wanted to beat him up more, so I didn't on purpose.
For me, it was boxing. I think it was my third match, but I felt a bit sad about it. I wanted him to stay in the fight until a decision after 20 wins, but he gave up there.
But there aren't many fighters like that, so in a way I thought it was good. I want him to keep that stance. After watching the last match, I don't think he'll approach the Taki fight like that at all. But if even a little part of him wants to make it a great match, I think he'll get taken down. Honestly, that kind of thing doesn't matter at all.
And just focus on the fight. When it comes to the match, Tenshin only thinks about winning. Like his ability to stay focused like that is really amazing. And if he goes in with that mindset, I think Tenshin will win based on their compatibility. Of course, Take also has knockout power, but I think Tenshin is faster. He'll use his footwork, and it'll be hard for Take to catch him.
He won't be able to catch him.
Isn't he good at creating that kind of development in a match? I think he might bring that out, but if he even has a little bit of doubt, it feels like he could get taken down. It's interesting.
He approaches it wanting to show something good.
And when it comes to kickboxing, Tenshin was producing a lot of highlights. Ever since the fight with Meimisawa, after experiencing that, I've become more defensive.
Towards the style.
That's how I became. But in my mind, during the kickboxing era, there weren't that many.
Is that so?
Initially, my dad supervised my training. Having a father as a trainer or a father with strong opinions is likely impossible for most. Naturally, you separate from your father's influence. But that guy grew up under his dad's strict environment, so kickboxing.
Of the era.
I think I can bring out the strength of the angel that was said to be vibration and such.
Since my father has been around since I was little, and now I think there are also excellent trainers with solid opinions, but he just ended up becoming a good athlete, you know. In boxing and kickboxing, it's already like that. For a truly impactful athlete, the environment created by his father is crucial. That kind of strength and determination leads to becoming a solid, good boxing athlete. A truly great athlete with the potential to become a world champion.
That's the feeling I get?
It's like he ended up becoming that.
I see, that's an interesting theory.
I think having a fixed opinion is pretty difficult, but I still think it's better to practice with your dad. When I hear about the strictness of boxing, it's totally different. But in terms of what's inside, I feel like that's actually pretty important. It's the same with having your dad in your corner during a match. He's always been the one to fire you up, right? I think that's really important for Tenshin.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
For him, getting scolded by anyone but his dad likely isn't scary. That's why his dad is probably the only one he fears, and I think that kind of fear is actually quite important.
Yeah, I really think so, especially. I feel like you can change your son or your team, like you can swap them out for something better or something like that.
There's nothing else, especially given how far we've come together. And we've been doing this since he was 2 years old, when he first started winning. With my father, maybe we might suddenly meet up for boxing or practice together from time to time, but to some extent, I think it's more of an experience.
At the gym.
As a pro, you get to do things freely, right? But I feel like it's kind of a waste, and of course it's impossible, but I think it's because I was in my father's environment that I became someone like Shindo or Tenshin Nasukawa. I really feel that during matches.
It's worth considering, isn't it? If it were just Chairman Nasukawa and Tenshin, then naturally. The promotional power gained from experience
is necessary.
I wondered what would happen if I tried boxing as part of a tag team. That was my first thought since I had experience in kickboxing.
Back when I was kickboxing, I used to fight thinking, if I don't knock this guy out, my dad might kill me. I think that experience really connected to what I'm doing now. I guess that's something important, isn't it? It's more like patience or something like that.
Yeah, I guess that's how I motivated myself.
Only Chairman Nasukawa could do it.
Well, Chairman Nasukawa really is a passionate man after all.
That's what I think.
Yeah, that's right.
It might be better if we do it together.
Mr. Hiramoto is aiming for Chairman Nasukawa.
Rather than acknowledging, it's more like right away.
I've really stopped saying bad things.
Yeah, really. It was Tenshin's strength. It was because of that parent and child, right? There was definitely a kickboxing era, wasn't there? Tenshin's father also sees him as his own son. That's why he was able to be so strict with Tenshin, I think. Tenshin also endured that strictness and kept going. That's why he has such discipline, or rather, that sense of urgency inside him that he absolutely has to do this no matter what. I think that fear, the part that was connected to the results of the competition, is what drove him. It looks like he's really enjoying boxing, but when it comes to someone like Inoue or that kind of class, when it comes to someone like Nakatani or that class, I think if Tenshin shifts into a higher gear, he can definitely reach that kind of stance. I think he can get to the level of those kinds of fighters. That's where the real competition is born. It seems like that.
Yeah, that's an interesting story. You're right, but people really are complicated.
It's difficult,
Especially between parents and children.
If I write this, my dad might say, I'm not boxing, or something similar. They'll definitely come. A few other kids box too, maybe two. I'll leave the strategy to the coaches, but as for what's inside...
That kind of thing.
Mentally, or in terms of coaching, my dad is definitely always there as my second, and he's always my head coach during practice and pro training sessions, always together with Tenshin. It's not exactly like watching over me, but it might be a bit difficult for the trainers to work with that, though.
Sorry.
If we make sure to build that as a team, we can create something even better. That's right.
That's true, but there are players like Teofimo Lopez who exhibit such behavior.
His father is a boxing.
Neither Devin Haney nor his father are boxers.
And if you put it that way, Naoya Inoue's father...
Two.
Even if he only dabbled in amateur boxing, it's still impressive, right?
When you think about it that way, it's pretty crazy.
No.
Of the class.
It's amazing to create monsters, but everyone is parent and child. I wonder what they're thinking. Isn't it incredible?
A total nerd who does a ton of research.
Cool.
The
The
research specs are amazing. Did Mr. Hiramoto's father do martial arts?
My father did boxing. He moved to Tokyo aiming to become a professional boxer and took the pro test. Before he could take it, a C-test showed he had too much fluid in his brain, so he couldn't box anymore. Then I was born. By chance, he took me to a gym near our house and said he'd teach me boxing together with him. That's how I just happened to get hooked on it.
Dad.
My dad has always done boxing as a hobby, and he would go watch boxing matches and stuff. So basically, My dad really loves boxing.
He used to teach boxing at a gym.
Oh, really? That's interesting. My dad would sometimes watch my training sessions.
And things like that.
There's this guy named Kyosuke, by the way. He's got a world title match coming up in the light flyweight division. His name is Kyosuke Takami. He's an experienced fighter and incredibly strong.
So?
He's really seriously strong. Even though he's a light flyweight, he's got that one-punch power, kind of like Davis. He's a really strong fighter in the light flyweight division. He just became the Japanese champion recently. I've known him since we were kids. We were both at the same gym in Ikebukuro, Wilas Kurek's gym, and he joined Ikebukuro too. So from around junior high school, he focused solely on boxing, and he's incredibly strong. I think there's a title match in August. Oh, really? It's already decided, huh? It's a world title match, and he's really strong. I couldn't help but pay attention.
So, to sum it up for now, Tenshin Takei has the advantage in terms of compatibility. It's hard to predict the outcome. Taki possesses knockout power.
That was amazing the other day, too. Taki is really amazing, too. That punching power is really something. I'd like to hear what Taki thinks about the current one. I'd like to have a reunion.
One is currently in disarray and disorganized.
That's not nice to say.
I just meant that I really don't know what's going on.
The other day at the venue, I was like, wow. Well, it's all scripted, right? I think the videos are basically scripted, but watching them kind of made me feel like I was watching something like Toyoko Kids, and it made me feel kind of sad. Did it make you feel sad too? I just simply felt sad. You know about Toyoko Kids, right? Next to Kabukicho, like in Kengangashi, it just made me feel like I was watching something like that. It felt like the Shinjuku side that I used to love so much. That Kyoan side that I loved so much, you know, the one I can't even touch anymore. I couldn't even touch it anymore. It was just so sad.
Yeah, I wonder what they're thinking.
Yeah, I guess they're really trying their best. That's the feeling I get, like they're desperate or something. I can sense their will to create something, that's all.
It made me sad. This isn't what I wanted.
That's what I thought. This can't be it. I was really sad.
Hey, you know, we talked about this last time too. I really want kickboxing to do a little better. If they could just get that part right, I would be happy, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's true.
I also talked about the overall situation there.
So please take care of it.
Last time I handed over A.
How was it? Was it interesting?
Really? Thank you. I brought it again today too.
Yes.
But recently, it's a new flavor. It's called peach protein, but it doesn't really work.
Yeah, it doesn't really work, does it?
Peach just doesn't really work.
Yeah.
I drank it, and it was actually pretty good. So if you found it interesting, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Everyone, please make sure to get it from Garen too. The protein is really delicious. So every time a guest comes,
Every time.
I hand it over a little.
I did.
I'm going to have you drink it for me. It's just like regular juice.
It was delicious.
I'm happy. Thank you very much. I'll post it on social networking service for Gairan, so you don't have a YouTube or Instagram, right?
No, I don't.
Not yet. I saw the shadow ban. No. On the contrary, I think it's kind of rare. Is it because there have been a lot of complaints about that?
No, well, I wonder what it is. There are so many things that come to mind, I don't even know which one it could be.
And then...
It's like there's nothing I can really do about it or something. I'm actually supposed to delete the tweets that got too much spam like that, but I can't tell which ones they are. There are just too many. Yeah, exactly. But I thought, well, maybe it's fine to just leave them.
It can't be helped, so should I just retire and mess around with threads or something?
I tried it, but...
Yeah, it's not interesting at all.
It's not interesting. Isn't this a place where everyone says cheesy things? Yeah, I get it. It's like there's nothing extreme.
Is it a bit too peaceful somehow?
Is everyone being a bit too poetic? Oh, yeah, I see. It's definitely more exciting that way. Yes, it's stimulating. There are a lot of interesting things posted.
I think that's the kind of thing that's being posted. I see. Anyway, the link to Instagram is in the description, so everyone, please follow us. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.